So I'm sure that many of you out there are very familiar with how frustrating it can be to analyze and transcribe Brecker's stuff. He's just one of the most amazing saxophone players who ever lived, and his concept is so ridiculous that sometimes it's hard to make heads or tails of what he's doing. So today we're going to look at a minor 251 that he was playing over this amazing live video from 1985. And we're going to be trying to break down what he's doing over this particular 2-5. And yeah, it's frustrating and amazing and all those things, but we might as well try to see what some of the possibilities were for a master improviser like this. Okay, so before we jump in, I just want to let you know this is just my opinion on the matter. So please don't yell at me in the comments if you think that something else is going on here. This is really a tricky thing to analyze. It's not very functional, so I'm just going off of what I see and trying to make sense of it the best that I can in hopes of kind of showing it to you. All right, let's get this line up on the screen. So this is a minor 251. It is in the key of D minor, and we're going 2, E minor 7 flat 5, to 5, A7 flat 9, to 1, D minor. But what you're going to quickly see is that these chords don't even really matter because Brecker's completely doing his own thing and superimposing some completely different changes over the top. But let's hear the line first. What is he doing? All right, so pretty ridiculous line. Let's get into it. It's clear that something is going on here. Now, the coolest part about this is that he completely disregards the changes, like pretty much all the way. He's never playing in the key that he's supposed to be playing in. And this really provides for some really wild and interesting sounds. So let's dive into it. Let's start breaking it down. So if we look at the first 4 eighth notes over the E minor 7 chord, the conclusion that I come to is he's outlining a C minor triad. Now this is pretty far away from an E minor 7 flat 5 chord, but that's, to my ears and to my eyes, exactly what he's doing. Now then he moves on for actually the rest of the 2 chord and the 5 chord, he plays in B flat minor. So over the 2 chord, this doesn't make that much sense, but over the 5 chord, it actually does make quite a bit of sense. It's part of the altered scale in A. So if we think about some of the notes that he's using the flat 9, the sharp 9, the 3rd, the sharp 5, the 7th over that A7 flat 9 chord, which I think he's thinking about as altered. But this gives it a pretty wild sound. It's the sound of B flat minor over the top of A7 flat 9. Let's check out what some of these sounds sound like when we're superimposing different chords over the top of what's actually written. Okay, so here's the sound of C minor over the top of an E minor 7 flat 5 chord. That is pretty out. Now let's check out the sound of a B flat minor shape over the top of A7. This will sound a little bit more like something you may have heard before. So that covers the 2 chord and the 5 chord, gives us some idea of what's going on. Now we get to the 1 chord, that D minor. We're arriving in the key of D minor. And just when you thought this line couldn't get any more crazy, it does. He goes into the key of B major over the top of this D chord. He resolves the line to the 7th of that D minor 7 chord. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to come back inside. But then immediately after he resolves to that flat 7, he actually uses that C to start an enclosure of the note B, and then he just goes off on the B major scale. So you can see that every note after that A sharp on the and of 1 is in the key of B major. So I'm deducing with my amazingly sophisticated jazz mind that he is playing in the key of B major. Let's check out what B major over D minor sounds like. So this is some pretty wild stuff, and it keeps getting more and more wild as we get closer to the end of the line. Normally it's like, okay, we go way out over the 5 chord, and then we bring it back in, we resolve it. But Brecker is on such a completely different level that he is actually taking it further and further out as the line goes on. So now that we kind of know what's going on, let's hear the line one more time now that we have some semblance of an idea of what could possibly be happening here. All right, so what can we take away from this line? I think one of the main takeaways for us is just that kind of like anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
And I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Brecker kind of displays that if you've worked things out and you are fluent enough with your keys and your ability to change keys on a moment's notice, that you can really do whatever you want as long as you do it with conviction. Now, functionally, I'm not really sure what you could take away from this. Maybe the altered stuff. So playing a minor triad a half step up from the root on a dominant chord is going to give you that altered sound. We've done some videos on that, so check out our altered series. We actually do that exact thing. But as far as like the C minor sound over E minor 7 flat 5 or the B major over the D minor, I'm not really sure what we can take away from that functionally. The only thing I would say is if you could really get used to that sound, maybe you could start to use it in your playing. Now, maybe some of you out there are a little bit more advanced than I am when it comes to thinking about stuff like this. Let me know in the comments if you have an actual like functional reason for why he's doing this. For me, my little tiny brain can't really figure out what he's doing functionally. So let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas. So that's it. I really hope that you don't go throw your horn in the trash because of this video. Just keep practicing. Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if there's a line that you can't make heads or tails of. Send it my way and I'll try to do an analysis. I will try to figure out what's going on for you and post that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That helps us more than anything else that you can possibly do. Gets this video out to more people. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can catch a whole lot more videos that we're going to be doing on these kind of things. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.